of an independent-led government and of a PTI-led government. That leaves us with Muslim League Nawaz, who is the only political party in the National Assembly who have reached out to the Pakistan People's Party and invited us to join their government. The Pakistan People's Party has decided that while we are unable or not in a position to join the federal government ourselves, nor would we be interested in taking ministries in such a setup, we also don't want to see political chaos in the country. We don't want to see perpetual crisis in the country. What are our options? If PTI doesn't want our votes, and if Muslim League Nawaz doesn't form a majority, and if I am not a Prime Minister candidate, and this House fails crisis in the country, what are our options? If PTI doesn't want our votes, and if Muslim League Nawaz doesn't form a majority, and if I am not a Prime Minister candidate, and this House fails to elect a Prime Minister, and it fails to form a government, we will have to go back for re-elections. And this will lead to another perpetuation. The people of Pakistan, who are at this moment facing not only a political crisis, but an economic crisis, the very real threat of terrorism, and the dangers of climate change. I think it's extremely unrealistic. And I think that, unfortunately, the PTI has made it a habit. I'm sure you've heard the expression of the man who cried wolf. Now, the PTI has cried wolf in every single election, despite the fact that it is a historical reality and a historical fact that in a majority of these elections where they've cried wolf, the rigging has been done in their favor, not against them. We all remember 35 punctures and how after destabilizing this country, doing dharnas, protests, long march, damaging our fragile democracy, PTI said that, oh, that was a political statement. I don't doubt that they will, that they aren't concerns. I also have my concerns, as I've expressed in this press conference. But there are forums for those concerns to be addressed. And if at those forums those concerns are addressed, even if the seats change up or down a little bit, I don't think any political party will be in a position to form government alone. The PTI themselves have said that they're not willing to talk to any political party. So from this statement, it is obvious that they are not interested in forming a government, in creating an environment of political stability. They would like to continue an extreme populist politics where they want to play the role of spoiler. They want to delegitimize as many democratic processes as possible. And they believe it's to their political benefit to spread chaos in this country. You will be aware that the challenge of this sort of populism is not unique to Pakistan. We have now come to a point where even the democratic system in America is being challenged along the same playbook, where whether you have facts or you don't have facts on your side, you accuse and repeat and repeat and repeat the message of rigging, 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 you delegitimize the democratic process. You delegitimize democratic institutions. And once the populace delegitimizes these institutions, then they manage to whip up such a sentiment within the country that allows them not only to be part of a government, to form government, but then to use that government to undermine the very institutions that they now lead. While this is a challenge all over the world, Pakistan's fragile democracy, where we have seen 50% of our rule under direct dictatorship, is finding it very difficult to cope and withstand this populist challenge. It is my belief that this populist challenge must be met democratically and politically, and that the only answer to undemocratic challenges is democracy, more democracy, more democracy, and more democracy. If the government that is to be formed decides that they are to respond to anti-democratic populism in an anti-democratic manner, if they're going to respond to extreme politics or extreme populist politics with their own extreme populist politics, then we're in a vicious cycle. And the consequences of this approach will be borne by the people of Pakistan. Our economy is facing a severe crisis. Our security situation is volatile. We have a whole host of challenges. And while I think this sort of no country can afford this sort of populist anti-democratic challenge, certainly Pakistan can't afford this at this time. It'll be my effort within Parliament, as I don't have a mandate to form my own government, to fight for political stability and make an effort that better sense prevails, and that both political parties, whether it is the now MWM in Parliament or Muslim League Nawaz or other political parties, it will be my constant effort to convince all sides that politics should remain within a democratic space, that we should conduct ourselves in a manner that strengthens civilian and democratic institutions, and not for our own short-sighted political gains damage not only Pakistan's democracy, but Pakistan's economy and Pakistan's federation.